Welcome back to the Hive Express YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hive. And listen, today we're talking about thrifting. The day that I had at the thrift was the craziest day ever. So this is gonna be a story day. So usually I used to tell a lot of stories on whatnot. So people was following along with my stories and keeping up with people's names, and so I figured I'd tell one of my stories on here. Anyway, so y'all know I go to the thrift on Tuesdays. So I always go on Tuesdays. I went to 3 today. And I started at one just down the street from my house, right? So nothing out of the ordinary happened in there. I went in there, I found 5 items at the first spot. Went to the counter and the lady was like, she was like, "How you doing today, ma'am?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "I ain't no ma'am." She said, "Oh, I'm sorry. How you doing today, sir?" I was like, I'm not a ma'am, but I do identify as a 65-year-old man, right? She busted out laughing. And that was because it was Senior Citizen Day, and she gave me the discount. She gave me the Senior Citizen discount, which is 25% in our area, so that's huge. Anyway, that's typical. I always chat with the people that work there, the sales ladies, the floor ladies. I know all of them. But anyway, that was a regular day. I got my discount, so that was good. Now, so then from there, I went to my favorite Goodwill. I did some videos on this one before, and so that's really why I got on this live. I mean, not live, but doing this tonight because I want to get the story right. Because I know if I go to sleep, I ain't gonna remember it tomorrow. Well, I already ain't gonna remember it, and I'm gonna get it all wrong, and I'm gonna forget pieces. So just follow along with me at this Goodwill, right? Follow along with me. Stick with me. So I go in, no, everything's normal. I see these two little old ladies that I recognize from another Goodwill. They up at the rack, one of the ones out on the floor. So I walk up to one of them. She got a Tory Burch bag on. I slapped the bag and I was like, "Let me get that Tory up off of you." And she just started laughing. She's like, "No, you can't get this one. You can't get this one." Anyway, but I was like, so we chatted for a minute because I told them I recognized them two from another one, and we just chatted for a minute or whatever. And then then they rolled a new rack out, right? And them two little old ladies about knocked me down to get over to the new rack. Now I wanted to go to the rack too, but I guess ladies first, but they was like, I was like, all right, y'all go ahead, go. But how about the first little old lady, she pulled off 3 Tory Burch shirts. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, oh. And the other lady was telling her, yeah, get that, put that back. Like, I guess she was like training. It was probably 2 old ladies. She was trying to train her up on how to get stuff. But she had 3 Tory Burch shirts. And I'm like, okay, that is the last time. That is it. The gloves are off. Young, old. No more niceties. I'm going to the rack. If I got to elbow you to get there, it's on. I don't care what age you are, but it is on. Anyway, so they left. They went down to looking around in the store. And so I went on ahead and finished looking through the rack. And I found a Tory Burch shirt. So she left one, which lets me know she was a rookie. So I did get me one Tory Burch shirt out of the deal, but there was 4 on there, and I wanted them other 3. Anyway, the little old ladies, they came back, and somehow we got to chatting again. They was like, "What'd you get? What'd you find?" No, I was like, "You forgot one," and I showed her the Tory Burch. She was like, "Oh no, how did I do that?" And the other one said, "I told you, you didn't go all the way to the end of the rack." you gotta go to the end of the rack. And it was funny, but I was like, I got me one. And so we started chatting again, and they started going through my stuff, like, what you get? And I had this Vineyard Vines vest. And she was like, oh, that's nice. That'll be good for my husband. I was like, well, where's he? Where's he at? Why he ain't in here? And I was like, I'll give you this jacket for one of them Tory Burch shirts you got. And she was like, and then I just gave it to her. I was like, here, give it to your husband. It's his size. I was like, I'll find 2 more of those today, no problem. So she was all happy, blah, blah, blah. And we, the other lady, I'm talking to her, and she asked me my name and what I sell, blah, blah, blah. And I reminded her that I see her out at this other Goodwill. And so yeah, we chatted for a minute. She's, she had a couple more items. She asked me did I want them, and I'm like, no, I'm good. And I was getting ready to go, finish looking at the store, and she was like, what's your name? And I said, Graylin. And she's like, all right, well, I am, what's her name? No, Smack, it's not Gail. Her name was Catherine. So me and Catherine cool now. I've always seen her, but we ain't never. Now she goes to get it. Like she goes to get it. When the racks are out there, she's already standing where the racks are gonna stop. She's at all the Goodwills. I see her everywhere. Anyway, so we cool now, so we can probably trade some stuff. She'll give me some stuff. And I got tons of little ladies in the Goodwill that just love me, and they give me stuff. I get them stuff, so forth and so on. All right, so I'm trying to make sure I ain't forgetting something. So me and Kat, we was cool. Catherine, I didn't get the other lady's name with auditory. But anyway, so go on. I'm going through the racks. Going through the racks, right? Y'all know how the hangers go. There's this lady in the next row from me. And I'm just scrolling, right? And she says to me, hi, how are you? And I said, I'm great. How about yourself, ma'am? That's what I always say. And she says, oh, I'm doing good. Now, I look at this lady, and when I say she had the most beautiful eyes I have ever seen on a person, animal, or whatever. The most beautiful eyes I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, mama. I know you got beautiful eyes, dear, nurturing eyes, but these eyes, mama, I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it as far as her eyes go. They were like a brown, they were beautiful eyeballs, right? Anyway, so we just talking, and I'm looking at her. I'm not looking at her, I'm just looking at her eyes, right? But I'm still shopping. And so she asked me my name, and I told her, and she was like, what you doing looking through all these clothes? And I'm like, I'm just shopping, like everybody else. And she was like, okay. She was like, so what do you do? I guess she was trying to figure out why I was getting the clothes. So I just told her, usually I make up something. I usually say, yeah, I'm a personal shopper, and I shop for like, I don't know how many people on eBay, like 10 million. I shop for 10 million people or something crazy like that. In a roundabout way, saying I sell on eBay. But anyway, I told her I sell on eBay. I'm getting clothes, and I'm just doing my thing. And she's like, oh, okay, right? And she was like, okay, cool. So she was like, so where you stay at, Graylin? I said, huh? She said, where you stay? No, she asked me where was I from? And I said, no, okay. I told you I was gonna get it all mixed up. Take notes so you can flip it, put it together at the end, and then, okay. When she first approached me, the first thing she said was, hey, are you from Rock Hill? And Rock Hill is a little town, 15 minutes from me. I was like, nah, I'm not from Rock Hill. I'm from somewhere else. And she was like, oh, cause I thought I saw you in Rock Hill. So I'm thinking maybe she saw me at a Goodwill, or something. But I was like, no, I'm not from Rock Hill. I'm from somewhere else. So she was like, so where you from? And I said, I'm from Greensboro, a little north of here. And she was like, okay. She was like, well, I just got here. I was like, okay, cool. She was like, yeah, I don't even know, listen, I don't know what the lady was saying. I was listening, but y'all think I'm all over the place right now. When she was talking to me, she was all over the place, right? So basically she was like, I'm from Raleigh. I came in here to get me a suitcase. I was like, okay, yeah, it's a good place to get a suitcase. But she was like, the one I had one from Walmart. It broke, so I had to come in here and get this one. And I think while I've been in here, I think I done missed my bus. I was like, you missed the bus? And she was like, yeah, I was getting ready to get on the mega bus. Now, the mega bus is not like a city bus. So, like, where you going? Like, if you get on the mega bus in Charlotte, you going to Atlanta, or maybe she was going back to Raleigh. I don't know. That's none of my business, right? So she was like, yeah, I missed my bus. I was going to catch the mega bus to somewhere. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, well, I guess I'll just go to the ministry, because I do a lot with the ministry. And she was like, so I think I'll just go to the ministry tonight. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a nice place. Like, I didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, now mind you, I'm still shopping. Like, I'm on the schedule here, lady. I got things to do. This is what I'm thinking to myself. I'm like, listen, I got to get through all these. I got to go through this whole store. Anyway, she's talking about that. And then she says, so where do you stay? And I'm like, I stay, no, she said, where you from? I said, Greensboro. She was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, okay, so where you stay? And I was like, huh? She was like, where you stay? I said, not far from here. I stay in Still Creek, not too far from here, right? Now, at that point, I'm thinking, okay, just go. You can go, and we good. Yeah, I met you, you met me, you in the ministry. Okay, so I told her where I stayed at, all right? And then she was like, she was like, well, how much is your rent? I said, what? I said, what? What is you asking me? She was like, how much is your rent? I said, I just said $1,800. I don't know why I said $1,800. I said $1,800. I was like, but I own the place. I don't rent it. My mortgage is $1,800, right? And she was like, well, why is it so high if you own it? She said, why is it so high if you own it? Now, she has a valid point. She has a valid point, because my mortgage is nowhere near $1,800. But I could tell, so I'm like, is this lady off, or what's going on? But then she was like, why is it so high? And I thought to myself, that is a good point. Like, you know a little something, because anyway. So I'm like, what you mean why it's so high? I was like, shit, I got a bad interest rate. What you want me to do? And she was like, oh, okay. And so I'm still scrolling. I'm waiting for racks to come out. And so then she comes around. Now, this whole time, she's still over there. And, she in the next row. So now she done made her way around to where I'm at. And she was like, you like these pants? I said, no, ma'am, they're awful, right? I looked, they were awful pants. And she was like, well, feel the material. She was like, I see you over here feeling on everything. And I was like, that's got to be that's 100% polyester. I ain't got to feel it. I can look at it. They're awful pants. Just put them back. Anyway, she was like, okay. Well, you like this shirt? I was like, it's okay. I'm still just scrolling, trying to find stuff. Now, at this point, this lady has taken a lot of my time, like, and I have not finding nothing, right? So I'm starting to get a little frustrated, but I keep my cool. I'm not finding nothing. This lady is still bothering me. She's following me, right? And so she's like, and then she just comes out and said, well, listen, can you rent me a room? I said, what? She said, yeah, hotels is just so high. I guess I could go over to my girlfriend's house or back to the ministry. But it's just so high. She was like, yeah, can you rent me a room out of your place? I said, ma'am, there's no way. I was like, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I was like, I got clothes everywhere. I ain't got no room. I got a kid. No, I can't rent you no room. Okay? Right? So, all right. So now I see where this was going at. Now, before I thought, I mean, I know we're in a Goodwill, but I'm like, I was expecting her to ask anything, to ask me for some money maybe, but she had money in her hand and she had it, I don't know, she was walking around the store with the money in her hand and the suitcase. I guess I don't know if she had already bought the suitcase or not. Anyway, so somehow she goes, I don't know, we said bye or whatever. She goes, right? She's gone, right? So I go back to shopping, find a couple things, and I go to the racks, I find some more stuff. Now, by this time, like, stuff is getting heavy, right? I got a lot of clothes, and now I need to go get a cart. So I go around and go get a cart, and there she is. She, like, I had to go by the door to get to the carts. And when I went by the door's open, and she was right there. And I said, now, I don't know why I said anything else at this point, but I was like, you still here? And she was like, yeah, let me talk to you. And I was like, nah, I'm just trying to get this cart. I want to put these clothes in here. So she comes back into the Goodwill. I'm like, oh. I'm like, she comes back in there, and what does she say? She's like, y'all can see I'm getting frustrated all over again, y'all. But anyway, she comes back in there, and I'm like, why the hell did I say something to this lady, right? So she comes back into the Goodwill, and I don't know what she said, but we started talking again. And the ministry, her girlfriend's house, and okay, so then she was like, can you give me a ride? I just need to go right down the street to Arrowwood, which is from where we was at 2-3 blocks at the most. Okay. Now, when she asked me that, I remember the eyes. When she asked me that, I was looking right at her, right? And I said, yes. She then came back into the Goodwill and hypnotized me with the eyes. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, what is wrong with you? Why did you say yes? Okay. Now, it is on my way. I got to go that way anyway to get to where I was going. So I said yes. Don't know why I said it. The eyes, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I said yes, but I wasn't done shopping yet, right? So I told her yeah, and she was like, okay, and somehow oh, another rack came out. And I was like, look, I got to go. I got to go to this rack. So I go over to the rack and I started looking for new stuff. And then she came to the rack and went on the back side and was looking. All right, that's fine. Whatever. I can't remember if I found something on that rack or not. Anyway, so I'm still shopping, and I don't know what happened after that. I mean, I know what happened, but I don't know about the order. Anyway, I'm gonna jump to it. So I told her I was gonna give her a ride, and so I was up at the counter, taking some hangers off some stuff. And then I shopped a little bit more because every time I bring the racks out, I kept going back to get more stuff, right? So I'm at the counter taking off the hangers off all my stuff, and she came up to me and was like, "Are you still gonna give me a ride?" And I said, "Huh?" That's what somebody say when they heard you, but they don't want to know you heard them, huh? Anyway, she was like, "Are you gonna give me a ride?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well," she was basically saying like, how long are you gonna be? But she didn't say that directly. I'm like, well, I'm still shopping, so I mean, I don't know what to tell you. She was like, okay. So she went and was shopping some more. And then, okay, this is where it gets good. So then I go back to the more racks. They brought another rack out. I'm up there. What's the lady name? Catherine? Was it Catherine? I think it was Catherine. Catherine says, "Hey, do you know that lady?" I said, "I do not." She was like, "Oh, okay." Because she's been going around soliciting people for rides. I said, "I'm well aware." Now, mind you, at that point, I did not tell Catherine that the lady had already approached me about the ride, and I had agreed to said ride. Although I was just hoping she was just gonna go and be done with it, because it wasn't far. Like the time she waited on me to shop, she could have walked down there. Anyway, that's another story. So Catherine is like, she's soliciting people for rides, and I was like, yeah, I'm well aware. And that was it for that conversation. Me and Catherine are going through the rack together. And she's, at this point, now the niceties are done, Catherine. We're cool, but we're going on this rack together. Like, I'm not sitting here waiting on you, and I didn't get the other lady's name, Miss Tori Birch. I'm not sitting here waiting for y'all. Like, let's get it. So we getting it. Anyway, so then I got a few more items off the rack. I go to check out. I'm checking out. No, I'm not checking out yet. I'm back at the counter again, taking stuff. Sorting stuff, making sure I want it. And okay, this is where it gets crazy. Join me next week to find out what happens in this episode. No, I'm kidding. Here we go. So I'm at the counter, right? And here comes back the other lady, Carolyn, I think. I think her name was Carolyn. So Carolyn comes back. Carolyn, so okay. Now I'm at the counter. Catherine walks up. She's beside me. So I'm at the counter here. Catherine is here, and we're just there. I don't know what Catherine's doing right there. But then here comes Karen, right? So now I'm in the middle. Here's Catherine. Here's Carolyn. So, okay, this is where it really gets crazy. Out of nowhere, Catherine, whom I had just met today officially, I've seen her. She didn't recognize me, but I know I've seen her 7, 8 times. Catherine says, unprompted, don't you think She said, Graylin, don't you think your wife was going to be upset if you don't come straight home today? Catherine, she says, don't you think your wife is going to be upset if you don't come straight home from the thrift today? And I said, what did I say? I said, you know what? I think she might. I think she might. I'm not married. Catherine doesn't know if I am or am not married. No ring. But she says that. Now, Carolyn is right here. Carolyn is right here. And she said, he's not even married. Don't try that. Don't start that. Bleep. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? She's like, don't start that shit. I ain't got time for this. You beep, beep people always talking. Stay out of your business. She just don't want you to do this. I'm tired of this Illuminati. I'm like, whoa, 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 bring it down. What is going on here? She's like, I'm tired of this. And I look this way, and Catherine is gone. She gone. But so Catherine, sensed danger. She was going back over to the corner. This one right here, oh, she was going off. Talking about the Illuminati, people talking to her. She tired of people talking to her any kind of way. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What is going on here? She was like, he is not married. I already talked to him. You don't got nothing to do with this. She just don't want you to give me no ride. And I'm looking around like, okay, there's got to be cameras in here. Somebody is punking me, or one of these kids done set up some prank. But no, this was real. This was real. Okay. So I don't know what Kathleen went. And so she called her Karen. No. Okay, wait. Let me back up. So, okay. She says, your wife gonna be mad if you don't come home. Now, her first thing was, Carolyn's first words was, Cat. She called her Cat. She said, Cat, you stay out of this. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all know each other? What is going on here? She was like, no, I don't know her, but she been messing with me, blah, blah, blah. I'm tired of this. She in the Illuminati. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That's why I thought I was getting punked for a minute there, because she said Cat. I don't know how she knew her name, but she said Cat. And I was like, okay, the jig is up. Do y'all know each other or what? But they did not know each other. Apparently, she had been just asking people randomly for rides, but yeah, it got a little intense in there. And so Catherine was gone. I don't know where her buddy was at. So, okay, at this point, I got to go. So I go immediately to the checkout. And, like, the manager came up to me. A couple of the little ladies that worked there came to me like, you all right? You good? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just trying to check out at this point. Then Carolyn came over and was like, so now I'm at the checkout. I'm like, here, ring this up. Let's get this deal done. But then Catherine calls me. She's like, Graylin. So I turn around and she points at another rack. So at this point, they're rolling out another rack. So I'm like, checkout lady. No, I had already checked out. So did I check out? Anyway, so I couldn't leave without going to that last rack. So I grabbed my stuff and I went to the rack. Yeah, I had already checked out. I had my receipt in my hand, I had my clothes, but I still had to go see that last rack. So I went to the rack. I think I found 2 more items on that rack. So that was good. So I bought those. So when I went to that rack that time, Carolyn, she was like, "Oh yeah, let me go check out the rack too." All right, check it out. Whatever. Anyway, so that is what went down at the thrift today. Like, now, I did find a lot of great stuff. So somewhere in between there, I had some time to myself, and I found a ton of stuff. I found like 7 items back to back. Boom, 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 boom. So it all, at the end of the day, it all worked out. But it was crazy. Like, I thought they was gonna go to blows in there, and I'm like, look, I ain't do nothing. I'm just in here trying to make a living, and this is how y'all treat me? Catherine, leave these people alone. You first of all, you in my neck of the woods, so now I got to battle you for my inventory. Well, I'll be in your neck of the woods too, so I guess I can't really say nothing about that. But whatever. Don't come over here starting stuff. I got to live here. Y'all just visiting, you know? But anyway, so that was it. That was that. Anyway, I went to my next one. The next one, no, it was nothing. I went to 3 Goodwill. So the next one, I don't think nothing happened there. I was talking to the little lady, one of my regular ladies. She gave me the discount too. So the good thing is I did get the senior citizen discount at all 3 Goodwills. But now I'm a little concerned about going on Tuesdays now. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. I know this was a little long, and I still got to show y'all the stuff, so I'll do another video in a couple days, and I'll show y'all what I got. I just want to show you what I have to go through to get this stuff, and maybe y'all appreciate it a little bit more. Thank you guys for listening to me rant. I'm glad it ended peacefully, but it was crazy. All right, catch y'all on the next one. Peace.